Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 123 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. All right, so I have different people that I talk with weekly or so that do podcasts and online things like I do, and we share ideas. Now, this week, one of them sent me an email on how to make your podcast stand out, and so I thought, that should be good. So I read it, and one of the things it said to do was look at the trending topics for podcasts on Apple and use those topics in your episode title. Well, I thought that sounded like a great idea, so I go over to trending topics on Apple Podcasts. And you guys, I had to recalibrate my brain as I read them. I kid you not, the top 4 were this. I'm gonna read them to you, okay? The first one was transgender models, okay? The second one was transgender models 2. The third one was regulate prostitution with a question mark. And the fourth one was nipplegate. Now, I don't even know what that is, but I don't know about you. Just people in my regular circle, we don't sit around talking about regulating prostitution or transgender models. I don't know who does. And I'm just going to say what I think here. Like, who's pushing these trending topics? Is it the same people that are pushing the info to the top of Google when you do a search? I mean, are we being brainwashed into thinking that everyone in the world feels a certain way, so maybe I should feel that way too? Well, that's a tactic used to influence a certain agenda, and being aware of it is the first step in not allowing your thoughts to be manipulated like a wind vane. And look, there is a very small portion of the world that are transgender, and they need to feel seen, heard, and loved, because that has to be confusing, and it is not an easy road. But on the flip side of the coin, there are those that have religious views that also need to feel seen, heard, and loved. It works both ways. That's how it works here in America anyway. I can have my opinions and you can have yours, and it's a beautiful thing. You see, that's why, though, we have to be so careful of what we allow to hold space in our minds. These trending topics seem to me are more an agenda than anything else. I mean, it's someone else's idea of what they feel, and I don't have to feel that way if it doesn't resonate with me. It's okay. If you ask most people that I know anyway, I mean, they may have an opinion on things, but they also have this sort of live and let live motto. And they may not understand someone, for example, that's transgender. Maybe they're open to trying, though, or maybe not. But the majority of people don't hate someone else because they're different. Now, our human nature makes us like being around people that we have things in common with. That's extremely normal, and it's okay. Now, have you ever judged someone from appearance? Maybe you think because they look like you or dress like you that you'll like them, and then you find out you really don't have anything in common with them? Well, I have. And then on the flip side, I have really, really enjoyed someone that at first glance, I didn't think I would. So I try to see things from a place of love and acceptance, and it isn't always easy, and I'm not always successful, but it is always my goal. I mean, most people, I think, just want to be able to feel and believe the way they want and to be left alone to do that. I mean, they don't want to feel manipulated by an agenda. More often than not, we would all get along much better if we didn't look at the news at all. Because deep down, we thrive on connection. But the media thrives on outrage. So just because someone tells you these are trending topics, it doesn't mean they are. It just means maybe someone wants them to be. We have to be aware that most of the information that we're getting anymore is agenda driven. That book that you're reading, the author had a reason to write it. I mean, they wanted to affect you in some way. And it could be that they wanted to empower you, just like my podcast. You know, I try to empower you. That's really my agenda. It doesn't always mean the agenda is bad. It just means there generally is an agenda. I mean, most news stories, most articles that you read, even when they talk on the Weather Channel, for the most part anymore, it's opinion-based. And I got news for you. You probably already know this. Your opinion and your internal guidance system is the most powerful thing for you. It's better than anything you're going to read. You innately know what is right for you, but you have to keep yourself grounded and in touch with who you really are. Now, you do that by being very aware of your thoughts and really just generally putting more good stuff in your brain than you do bad stuff. So like meditation, grateful journaling, positive podcasts like mine, and also doing more things that make you feel good and are good for you. You have to be sure of who you are so that nobody else's agenda comes in and mucks it up. How many times have you been going along just having a great day, happy as a bird on a sunny day, and then someone sends you a text or you read an article and immediately you start going into anxiety mode? That happened to me this last week. I woke up and I was having a really good day. It was sunny. I meditated. I listened to my good podcasts. I journaled. And then I pulled up my email and there was an email, a news article, and I saw it immediately and I was like, what in the world? And I could feel my heart start racing and I wanted to get irritated. And then I went, wait a minute. How does this article affect my day right now? I mean, like, how does that information affect me? It didn't, unless I let it. And I was letting it. But I recognized it. And some of you are, I'm sure, are thinking, but it might affect you eventually. Or maybe it is affecting you now, like the mask mandates or the lockdowns. And to that I say, yes, there are always going to be circumstances that are out of your control. Every single day even. But when we realize that the power lies in the thoughts that you have about those circumstances, that's where the power is. It's super empowering to me, and I hope it is to you because you have that same power. Your thoughts are creating your reality every single day. Have you seen that little cartoon of a bus driving along a road, and on one side it's super close to the rock wall, so it's dark, and there's this man sitting there and he's just looking at that dark wall, just staring at it, and he looks unhappy and sad. And then on the other side of the bus, there's an open cliff with sunshine and blue skies, and the person facing that direction is smiling and so happy with the sun shining on their face. Well, we have that option every single day. We can look and find the good, or we can look for and find the bad. But that is all up to you. My challenge to you this week is to recognize when you see the new outrage agenda for the week, because there will be one. And instead of reacting negatively, just laugh and say, aha, so that's what the agenda of the week is. And I'm not falling for it because I have all this good stuff going on. And also realize that your inner guidance system knows who you are. And the more in touch with it you are, the less likely you'll be manipulated. Life is meant to be fun, and you're supposed to be having a good time. Never forget that. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.